Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Lopburi, and what we're going to take a look at is we're going to take a look at probably like the crown jewel of all the sites here in Lopburi. It's between this and King Narai's palace. Both of them are fantastic. We're going to take a look at the Wat Mahathat. It's Wat Phra Sri Rattana Mahathat is the real name, but Wat Mahathat for short. And what it means Temple of the Relic. This is an old site. It was, I think, even Dewadi era, which predates the current era. It goes way back to like the 8th century. Then it was expanded by the Khmer. You'll see the center prong will have all the Khmer styling and everything else. And then it was built upon by the Ayutthaya era, added on, expanded, and has all the halls that were from the Ayutthaya era. This is a fantastic site. It's a pay site. You got to pay 50 baht to come in here, or it's part of the 4 or 5 sites that you can go to for 150 baht. So this is definitely worth it, and it's right next to the train station, just a short walk over here. So let's walk through here. I'll tell you a little bit about it, and we'll enjoy this. And right there is the train station. So you walk right out of the train station. There's an old 1913 British locomotive. You come right here. This is the pay gate. And then you're greeted with this fantastic temple. This is unbelievable. This is one of the best sites that you'll come to. And then we'll go in here and we'll eventually make our way over to that Khmer prong. When you first come in, you have this huge room right here that's shaped kind of like a crucifix. And it has the octagonal columns. I believe this was like the changing room. So the royals would come here, they would change clothes, and in order to go into the chapel, which is right here. And it is a massive temple. This is a fantastic site. There's certain festivals that they do here in Lopburi. They'll have like the King Narai festival, and they'll have this all lit up at nighttime. They'll have all the lights shining on it, and this whole complex glows at night. It's really quite amazing. So let's go in and we'll look at this. So this is the front. So there was a little balcony here, and then this is the front of the site. And it had all the styling up above it. Here's the columns that would have supported the roof of the little balcony. And then you would have came in here. This would have been a royal temple, so King Narai and all of them would have came here. So the center door would have originally been for the king. And then the 2 sides would have been for the commoners. And this is all the brick. It's quite cool. This is a little platform here for the royals. And you can see there's a modern Buddha that they have stuck over there. Now let's look out here. So just to give you an idea, there's just buildings all over. And these are the bases of some auxiliary chetties, and then quite a few buildings. And there's just chetties all around with lots of little details. And you can see here, so they built this out of brick and they scavenged like these laterite stones to put into this temple. They would have been scavenged from the Khmer site that was here. And you can see the Buddha here is just in the wide open space. But the Thais still come here and they lay the flowers down and pray and everything else. Check out the size of these columns. So they've braced that up to keep it from falling over. Oh, that thing is just gigantic. But you see how big that back wall is. It is just huge. Lots and lots of bricks were put in here. So they've done all this. This has all been restored. You see these are new laterite stones that they've put in here. Let's go out this door over here. So you see it has the lotus bud archway. That's the earmarks of King Narai. King Narai was the one that made Lopburi important. He moved the capital over here from Ayutthaya, and he would have this as the capital for like 9 months out of the year. During the rainy season, he would move all the government functions back to Ayutthaya. It's just an absolutely colossal building. And you can see the base is just the normal Ayutthaya styling here. Really cool. And these are just some of the outer buildings. We're not even to the good stuff with the prong in the middle yet. So we have a small little Wihan over here that would have been, had an image right there. But it would have been surrounded by this little wall. So they would have had lamps or candles in here, so they could have used it at night. And it would have been really cool because it would have reflected the light up onto this building. And check out that chetty right there. Really quite beautiful. And then we'll go in here and we'll see what this looks like on the inside really quick. So you see the faux columns right there. And it would have had the lotus buds at the top. And then this would have been a Buddha image right here. Yeah, really cool. And you can look through the windows and see another little prong over there. And this is outside of that little building. So that's this building. We're at a great site. And then you see that chetty. And then it has a couple auxiliary chetties here. But check out over there. That is the Gopura, or the cloister, I mean. The cloister is like the little walkway around it. So they would have had images all along there. And then you see the gate over there. And the building I've been always trying to go into is this one right here. I've never been able to get inside of this. It's always been locked. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful building. Just a perfect example of an Ayutthaya building. Check it out. It's really plain, but what a amazing little building. You can see the bricks on the inside and the plaster and all the little detail work on the outside. You can see the wooden shutters it's closed up and the wooden doors. Just one of these days, hopefully I'll be able to get in there. I might have to write a letter to the tourism authority and maybe they'll let me in there. And you can see all the site here. There's just all these auxiliary chetties. There's another little hall back there and some more different shaped chetties. And then of course the center prong. Just a great thing. And then this part of it has collapsed down right here. So you can see the Khmer styling. You see the laterite stones. You see all the styling, all the pediments, all of the little details that the Khmer built into their sites. So that's the older part, and then those brick buildings that we saw over there were added later. And you got some of the pieces right here of the Buddhas. You see the hands and the legs, and then the part of the Naga. And then you can see here, this is a faux door on the west side. They have the little, I guess it's called what, the portico or whatever, the little porch on the front. And it'll be on the east side. That's the access. So the Khmers would have the faux entrances on 3 of the cardinal directions with the entrance on the east. Check the plaster and everything out on it. It's just cool. Now you go to the King Narai Museum and they have a lot of those little pieces that you see up there. They'll be on display in the museum. They can at least keep them preserved that way. And this is on the west side. This is kind of a cool building. It's just down to the base. But you see, it would have been shaped like a crucifix. And you have the laterite stones and you have the sandstone mixed in. But this whole little building collapsed down. I wonder if that was part of the Gopura originally back when it was Khmer. That would have been maybe the entrance on the west side. The Gopuras, they would have been crucifix-shaped entryways, and there would have been an image as they came in. Oh, and this is kind of cool. This is like early Ayutthaya styling with those little colonnades right there, those little window slits. And this is just right here in the corner. So they would have had a Buddha sitting in there, just like this. And it would have been a covered, this was part of the cloister, would have been covered with Buddha images sitting all around. Oh, really nice. And then looking back, we'll eventually look in there. We're going to look at that very last. Save the best for the very end of the video. And check out that building, or that chetty, I mean. Oh, what a beautiful little prong. You can see all the styling on it, all the Khmer little images and everything. And some other little buildings over here. I got a little shrine there. And this chetty here is collapsed down. You can see this is the top of that chetty. And it's just over here now. So some of the bricks failed and it just came and toppled right over. But it's cool when you see this like this. It sucks because it's down here, but you can see at least how they constructed it. You can see how they laid that course of brick, and every one they staggered and they just built the shapes. But you had to be pretty creative because you see how they did that with the stacking to give it these redented corners and everything. This is looking on the outside of it. So you had the outer wall, and then you had some chetties just outside. But look at that one. You could see all the little images right there. That's a older style bell chetty. Most of the ones you saw in the later Ayutthaya would have been a larger bell. And then it has the little fanal, the little rings up there. And then this is a Khmer prong, that Khmer style prong with the Buddha images down here. Oh, just absolutely amazing. You can see here all the plaster work. It's missing the top of it, and it's missing the little standing image that would have been right there. And then just more of them. I really like this temple. This is one of the best that you'll see as far as temple ruins for sure. And then in a base of an auxiliary chetty. And right over here, this would have been the entryway into the inner gate. And this would have been like an arch right over the top of it. Really cool. Okay, so inside here, this is another fantastic little shrine. Now it's locked up, but we can stick our head through this little gate, I hope. There's inside here is really, really cool. So let's take a look here. And this is what's inside. Yeah, so it's locked up, but you can see the reclining Buddha. Oh, it's really, really cool. Yeah, that's inside this little building here. Another one of those just amazing buildings here on this site. So we have this chetty here, and you can see it's open on the east. That has the relic chamber. And then this is part of the cloister here. You can see some more of those little windows, thin windows that they put in. So you can see they used the laterite stones that they scavenged from elsewhere. And then they built the brick on top of it. Sounds like just some bats in here now. Oh, almost fell off of here. Yeah, a lot of the little details are missing. Some of the plaster work you can still see there. But inside of here would have been a Shiva. And I could smell all the guano from the bats. And over here on the south side is this humongous hall. Let's stick our head in it, and then we'll go into the Prang. Right, this is what's inside of here. This is a massive hall again. And you can see over here they have all the Buddhas that are kind of falling apart. And it's on a base that has the laterite stones and bricks. What a humongous door on this side. Yes, that's the pedestal that they had the images on. And then there's 3 doors, a small one, but look at the size of this door. It's just absolutely massive. All right, so let's go into the center prong now. That's kind of the highlight here. So down here, this is kind of a low spot, and then everything is built up around it. So you see the base is all these laterite stones, and they carved all of these. Just the amount of work that went into these. And then over here, this was probably added on later. You see it's brickwork, but on the top of it is some laterite. So they might have restored a little bit of this years back. Originally, this would have all been laterite here with the laterite up on top of it. And what is amazing about this piece right here is this is the lotus bud that was at the very, very, very top up there. So this is 30 meters tall. And they raised this humongous piece of sandstone up to the top of that. Just absolutely amazing. They didn't have cranes. They had a lot of muscle and elephant power. They were really, really smart about the way they could do things. So you see the plaster work is mostly flaked off. You see that looks like a Buasima stone up there, one of those little pediments. All right, so let's go into the porch. You can see this is another one of the faux entrances. And then we'll go up here where you can see all the images that they've put in here. Really quite amazing. And you can see all of this is carved all the way around, and then they put the plaster on top of it. And some more of the plaster work here. You can see these are little bird figures. Oh, that's amazing. And they're all the way around. All the floral patterns right there. And then some more up there. Just all little details everywhere. And you can see this one here has a lintel. That's right there. Not sure what image that is. I don't know if that's Vishnu, like on top of the Erawan. I can't quite make out what that is, but it looks like Vishnu on the shoulders of the Erawan. That's what it kind of looks like to me. All right, so this is inside. Oh, you can smell the guano. So this would have been covered originally. Would have been a corbelled arch, and it would have came out here, and this would have been the original way in, but it's all collapsed down. So you can see some of the sandstone, and this would have had sandstone on the sides of the door, would have had a lintel over the top of it. Really nice. But now it's just kind of collapsed down. You can see where they drilled the holes to move this. Really neat. You can see this would have had probably a Shiva image, and we can't even see inside of here. I can smell the guano and everything. It looks like there's just bare earth in there. They have the gate. It smells like bats. There's lots of bats here. I'm wondering, you can't see in there very well. It has a dirt floor, and there's plaster and stuff like that, but I'm wondering if there might have been at one time murals painted in there. Check this out. There's that cool building, and we're just at the base, just to give you an idea how big this is. So you got the stairs down. We're not even close to the top of this prong. We're right here, and that's how tall the prong is right there. Oh, just massive. And those guys carved and did all the detail. I just love it. This is amazing. The old timers, they had one gear, and it was to work, and they didn't mess about. They did it as good a job as they could. And you can see all the laterite, and they carved every bit of this, and then they stacked them up. They fit everything perfect. Oh, these guys were so amazing. And then you see here, this is the base of, which would have been another building over here. Oh, and you can see, just check out the size of this piece of sandstone. I mean, that's, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500 pounds or so. It's just a massive stone. And this would have been shaped like a crucifix right here. Would have been another little building. And it would have had the laterite base, and they've added on with the brick and stuff like that. Okay, so our last little look around here. So we're in this little cubby, and just that 30-meter tall prong right there. And then all of these little buildings all around. Just a fantastic sight. So that's going to finish up our video over here at this fantastic temple. This is an amazing sight. This is one that you got to come over and see if you're here in Lopburi. It's pretty cool because you got the styles of different eras. You got the Khmer, you got the Ayutthaya style. Everything is kind of fused together, and it's quite amazing. And you can see the differences in the different buildings that are right next to each other. Really a cool sight. If you're into these old temples, and even if you're not, you can still enjoy this. This is cool. Just imagine carrying all these bricks in and the laterite stones and then putting them in place. Just, it blows the mind away just thinking about how much work they did here. So anyway, if you enjoyed this temple over here at Wat Phra Sri Rattana Mahathat, then smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you've been here, if you have any questions, or if there's something else you want me to see here in Lopburi, let me know in a comment down below. And definitely subscribe. That's the thing that helps me the most, and the like button and the comment, all the normal stuff. And until next time, from over here in Lopburi, remember, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.